again, with more remakes, we have The Flight of the Navigator.
Yay.
Probably one of my fun favorite films growing up. It's such a cool concept, and I thought the graphics were really, really good. And the whole idea of this boy, basically the whole setup is he ends up time traveling in a weird way.
Yeah,
from the 60s.
Yeah, from the 60s.
To the 80s.
And to the 80s, so he finds his family again, but he's still a boy. And, like, his brother grew up and everything. Then it's like, then the government comes in like, whoa, what's going on? Like, how could this
How can
happen?
you find this boy, 20 years later?
And then he ends up getting taken to like a medical facility, it's like a military facility, and he ends up finding this basically liquid metal type alien ship, and he's the navigator. So he's like because when he got sent through the time rift, he became like part of that ship.
Yeah.
And then, and of course you get the famous Paul Rubens is the name, is the voice of the...
And Fritz Sowers is the boy, so
Yeah.
from Wonder Years fame, who played the boy in the movie.
And so it was a fun kind of adventure film for kids or whatever, and it's getting a reboot. And it looks like Lionsgate got their hands on the rights to redo this. And Lionsgate they produce like everything.
Yeah.
They produce crappy straight-to-DVD grindhouse-type garbage films, and they also produce, like, super high-end Hollywood movies. So they're just all over the place. And I guess they got Joe Henderson, and I guess he's
Well,
the guy...
Disney has the rights to Flight Navigator, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it says Lionsgate.
Oh, they must... Oh, wow.
Again, how long ago was that?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not up to date on who owns the rights to the Navigator.
Yeah,
but apparently Lionsgate got it now.
Yeah.
So this Joe Henderson guy, I guess he wrote for Lucifer, a show I never watched. So I don't know if his work is any good. He also did 11, 22, 63 and White Collar.
Never seen any of those.
I don't know any of those things. But
You're thinking out of my nerd realm right there when you talk about shows like that, especially the last two.
but the thing is, as long as they keep it like a fun film, because it was a fun kid film.
Yeah.
Because, like, could you imagine having this alien ship and he can go anywhere? Like, he goes to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, wait. Oh, made a mistake. He wasn't played by Fritz Sowers. Just said something else. Sorry,
Yeah.
I made a mistake there. But go on.
And it was kind of like a fun adventure film, and then he tries to find his family again, and it's a cool thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like a story of, like, he didn't like being a part of his family a little
Yeah.
bit. He was kind of bummed, and his brother would always irritate him, and then he left.
His brother was his younger brother at the
Yeah.
time, which is
So
funny.
when he comes back, his brother's his older
Oh,
brother.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he's like, and then it's kind of like that touching moment because the brother's like, "Oh man, I looked for you everywhere, and I would put up posters every,
I never gave up. I knew you'd come back. It's
Yeah,
like,
and it's really sad because it's like, oh, he really does care about me, even though he's that little kid brother that irritates
Yeah, because
me.
the little kids are just like that.
Exactly. So it's like when he goes back and so it's like a very fun story of like you really you get what you get. Be careful what you wish for. It's
And
kinda-
this is come from comingsoon.net, and coming back to what you said, Disney first sought to reboot the property in 2009, but the
there-
project never got off the ground. In 2012, ahead of the attachment to Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow was set to write. That never came through, so now this is the thing.
that's
So
cool.
Disney did have the
Right.
rights to do it.
I
it
know
just
they.
never
I
did.
remember they did like, oh wow, Lionsgate's got him. No, that's cool.
So I'm looking forward to this. Again, as long as they make it a fun family film, it should be
Yeah.
good. Don't try to make it dark and weird and gritty for no reason. It needs to be a family film.
Just like it was the
PG-13.
first one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
PG-13, PG.
That's fine with me, but it's so funny that you said that because when I was a kid, this is why I knew I was a Disney. I always wanted a Flight Navigator ride at Disneyland. It never happened. I thought that'd have been so
Yeah.
cool.
But here's the thing, though. Just to shoot this around, where should the movie follow the script exactly? Make it 80s, or should they do it today?
I think you should do it today. and
Today.
Make it.
the
It was a kid in the 90s,
90s.
and then he gets sent
Sure,
forward
sure.
to 2017.
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
They update it.
That'd
yeah,
be cool.
Yeah, because it'd be weird because like I said, a lot of the references from the from the 60s and 80s wouldn't really
And it's really funny because when he interfaces with the computer, it takes a part of his personality. Since
That's
he's
why
a-
he turns to
Yeah.
Paul Rubens.
Yeah, because it is Paul Rubens' voice, but he's like a
Yeah.
computer. But once he interfaces with the boy, he gets more of
More
his
animated,
and
yeah.
more of his. I want to say his personality. So
Yeah,
he's always
shtick,
telling
yeah.
jokes and
yeah.
He does a little laugh and everything.
and
Yeah.
I'm if every kid who sees this movie, the way he controls the ship, like these two orbs come up, and you just think, oh, that'd be the coolest way to
Yeah.
move things around. Like I want one of those, and everything's like chrome.
But it's funny,
Yeah,
and they
shiny.
don't really explain. If I recall, it's been so long since
It's been
this
so
movie,
long.
about 20 plus years. How that where that ship came from, I don't remember. They never said.
I think it's an exploratory vessel because I remember he collects animals from other planets.
Yeah, that's
remember
it.
there's
I remember
that
that.
little animal that came from an extinct planet.
Yeah.
Like the planet blew up, but he saved one of the animals. So like I guess it's just like an exploratory vessel, and I guess.
But it
he just
never
so
says
happened-
where it's from or an alien
Yeah.
race.
Did he get hit by a lightning bolt? Is that what messed him
Maybe.
up? Messed up the
I-
navigation,
I think it might have, and then it scanned his brain. I think
and then
for-
put the map in his brain.
Yeah.
And basically used him as a storage device, and then he has to reconnect, and that's why he's in the ship, and that's why he's the only one that can
Pilot it.
pilot
Well,
it.
I'm gonna spoil alert for a little movie. He ends up getting back to
Yeah,
his
yeah,
time
yeah.
again,
Yeah.
so he goes
And then
back.
the ship does go back, but then you kind of fall in love with the computer because he's like it became like his
But
friend.
it's time to go though, you know.
And it was like this cool kind of eyeball on an arm,
Yeah.
and it would like move and twist, and it was
Did you say the Happy GLaDOS?
yeah, that's what it was. The nice version.
The nice version.
And it had all this kind of liquid metal stuff, like the steps they would come out of the ship and it'd be like floating little platforms. I'm like, oh, that was so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then also like all the stupid references, like since he's from the '60s, I think one of the nurses was gonna go see a Twisted Sister concert, and so he's like, "Who's she?"
Yeah, Twisted Sister. Yeah,
yeah, because
Yeah, the 80s, that's so funny.
and I even thought if they remade it, you can even do the same thing because the guy could be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see the girl. I'm gonna see One Direction." Like, what direction? You know? Like,
yeah. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what are you talking about? Like, what
That would be
direction?
funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So
I again, like I said, as long as it keeps the core aspect of the film was a fun adventure film for kids,
exactly.
which we really don't get those anymore.
Not just fun movies for fun movies. You gotta say
Yeah.
a
I'm
point. It's
trying to
gotta be
think-
meaning to it.
I think the last adventure film, even like Journey to the Center of the Earth, remember the one with the rock
Oh,
and stuff?
yeah.
But I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I know the new Jumanji. We're not covering that because it looks like
But the
garbage.
thing is, though, they were teenagers, but like this is like a kid.
Yeah, it was a
like,
kid. He was like
okay,
10 years
another thing.
old.
Now that you mention this, please don't have the Rock of Vendicio in this. Why does every kid movie have to have them in it?
It's super
It's
weird
so
because they do like
annoying.
these really big action films and they do like these kid films. It's like, oh, okay, that's so weird. And then it just seems weird.
Yeah.
I just don't. Please let it be just a whole new cast. I'd be
Yeah.
happy with that.
Maybe they could be like the dad, and the mom, but
Maybe,
they don't
but-
do. They're not much of the story. As long as the boy, the story's
Is
about
the
the boy
focus.
and the ship. So make it mostly about that.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't make it dark and gritty. That'd be stupid.
Yeah,
Just
make it
PG.
fun and light. Of course,
Yeah.
there's some dark moments, like when he tells him about that planet that went extinct and he saved this animal, and it's like, well, he's the last of his kind, and he has no idea.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but that's about as dark as well. We don't want like gritty, graphic,
Exactly. Or dark
stuff.
in the fact that he missed his childhood with his family.
Yeah.
That moment when he realizes, oh dang, I'm like,
Yeah,
But he gets it back at the end.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But for the moment, he realizes, well,
And then he feels that thing like, oh, he ends up learning to love and appreciate his family.
Yeah.
Which is basically the real story in the end.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk, kids. You might lose everything.
and I wouldn't even mind if they even changed it to be a girl. Like I won't.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't
Well,
matter.
it's funny but it also talks about one of the flaws in time travel. If you do time travel within your lifetime, it'll be a future without you. So that's not really
Yeah.
the future, not your
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, see, because even in Back to the Future, when they go to the future, it was a future of Marty had
Already
kids and
there,
all that.
so it's already kind
See,
of a
because
weird
technically,
circle thing.
once you time traveled, it's a future with you
Mm-hmm.
didn't existing from that point.
Exactly.
Some time travels
Okay.
they do, some they don't.
That's funny. Zemeckis says the one thing he doesn't like if he ever goes back to conventions, they talk about the time travel. Like, okay, I didn't think of all the answers, guys. Okay, it was just a fun time travel movie.
See,
just-
because in this version of time travel, it's the future without him in it.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
But could you imagine the idea of like your brother disappeared and then you find him again and he's still the same exact age that he disappeared at? It's
well, I'd want to go back right away so that way I could grow up. I would feel kind of
But
like,
like the family would be like, well, what happened? Why haven't you aged? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing. I'm glad it's happening because this is something I've always kicked around. Was like, man, they got to remake that.
Right, yeah.
It's been so long. They got to remake this.
I think it's time. Now
That's
it's
time.
time. It's been long enough.
The time has come.
Exactly.
The Navigator must come back, and as long as you make it fun, as long as you make it kid friendly, I think it'd be successful.
I would love them to get Paul Rubens to do the
Yeah,
voice
you guys
again.
to come
I
back
would
as
be
the-
great. The Navigator.
Like
That'd
you
be so
said, or
great.
even like a quick second where he's like picking different voices or something, and it comes up real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and then, okay, no, not that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. As long as you pay a little bit of homage to the original.
Yeah, I would like it to be in the movie, but that's not bad either, though.
If they're gonna have the very least, I think that should be the very
Exactly.
least.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll do it. Like what he's not doing.
Oh
much.
yeah, and if they, especially if they ask him to actually be the voice.
I
like,
mean,
what's he doing?
I don't think he's not Penguin's dad anymore in Gotham, so he.
I know, right? So moving on. Alright guys, Crimson Sin here. You just watched a clip from our weekly podcast show. Be sure to check out the full podcast available here on this channel. Also, if you like the content and you want to see more of it, be sure to hit the like button and also go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.